the young, the old, everybody was going CCRAZY. And with me, none other than Anubhav Pal. It was so nice to see you on stage.
Thank you, Jimmy.
And right now we've got lakhs of people watching you on our digital pages of Friends FM. So,
Hello, friends. Can I just say,
Sure.
Jimmy Tangri, you were a huge influence on my life. I grew up in Calcutta in the 80s, and becoming a performer was not something you thought of. You thought of becoming. You could even
I
be a
got into it by
filmmaker,
mistake.
advertising. But seeing people like you kind of break the mold, become entrepreneurs, you had a radio station we used to all listen to, you used to DJ music. And just the idea that Western culture was something you could do in India, was like you really broke ground. And
Absolutely.
now it's quite common.
no, I think now it's quite common, but I always say Calcutta is a city
Yeah.
which grew up with Western values, Western music.
Yeah.
You had the unplugged guitars. You had Ajit Singh performing at Park Street. You had the best of singers.
5D, Shiva.
Absolutely, 5D was. Then you had Parvez Qadir also playing.
Yeah.
All of them are still around.
Do you remember, this is the only city where I have been thrown out of a party for saying that I don't like Pink Floyd.
What rubbish!
But it would
Seriously.
happen, right? It's not uncommon. Right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
they are so particular. How you don't know Pink Floyd? I don't think you need to be here.
They told me to leave.
Yeah, amazing. But tell me, I like to ask you one thing: is you're just really an amazing person from the heart, and I think you were on stage, you were speaking from the heart, though it was a stand-up comedy. How was the experience being here at Infocom, talking on stage to a high-tech, up there crowd? I mean, how was the feeling? Because you rocked, you made everybody burst out in splits. So how was your feeling being on stage right here at the Infocom?
So the ABP group is very close to our hearts because we grew up with the newspaper. They're very, like unlike Bombay or Delhi, Calcutta has these,
It has the
fewer
hearts,
tentpoles, but they're so part of your life. So I've always been fond of the ABP group. I've been wanting to do this Infocom show. I was very nervous because there were, senior level heads of tech there.
CEOs, high
And they've come for a very, very specific tech conference. They've come specifically to talk about technology, very complicated, very specific sort of tech things,
Absolutely.
right? So, for suddenly to tell them stop talking about technology, it's about comedy now. It's just hard, and you've just had.
you bashed in the comedy. People loved it. I think that super hit out was amazing. I've never seen the audience so crowded, chock-a-block, people standing around, people literally jumping over. We thought you had finished and you went in.
Yeah, yeah.
We were walking out to
And
get you.
they said, come back and do
Come
10
back in.
minutes.
What happened? We all got up and the minute we got up, another 20 people sat down and
Yeah.
took our seats. So it was crazy.
And I was worried that maybe, if I go back in, there's some other session after mine. I don't want to delay anything. And I was very scared, as I'm sure you were as well, how comedy will go down at lunchtime in a tech conference. It's.
But they loved you, and I'm sure you loved. I'm just.
I like Calcutta. I like doing shows.
I'm just curious. You were amazing. It was like tuck, 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 tuck,
Yeah.
one into the other.
Yeah.
Even guys like us, when we have to talk, we kind of give a slight pause to think.
Yeah.
You didn't stop to think.
Yeah.
It was there. How do you manage it? Because talking for about 45 minutes non-stop, and it's not just a lecture on one theme. It's like 30 seconds of this, 20 seconds of this. It's like 30 or 40 ideas which culminated one after another. How do you manage it?
Well, you'll appreciate this. I think of it like music.
Oh.
Unlike writing a film or a play, this is like music. So each joke is like a song. So you finish the song, you hope you get a laugh, and then you move on. My wife says there's no weirder profession than this.
She must be loving you for what you do.
Well, maybe she's tired of it now.
Okay, now I don't know, but before we go on to the next question, what would you like to tell your wife if she's watching you right now?
It's over. I'm still alive. The show went fine. I messaged you before. I said I'm really nervous, and I'm a little less nervous now because I'm sitting with Jimmy Tagri. But that's all I have to tell.
Okay, now since we are talking about wifey,
Yeah.
you're such a humorous, fun-loving guy. Was yours a love marriage? Or was it an arranged marriage? Because she must have been taken off her feet watching you on stage saying, wow, this guy is going to make me feel happy all my life.
The reason I didn't have an arranged marriage is who in their right mind, which family would marry into a comedian's family? Who? So you have to better find love because otherwise who in their right mind will say this is a suitable family for my daughter? Impossible, right?
So amazing. So just tell me, being a stand-up I would say stand-up making people laugh. I wouldn't say comedy, but a stand-up laughter magic man. Is it difficult? Is it hard? I've been told. I know a couple of folks, they say the kind of preparations they have to do, and it has to be witty, fast. Is it difficult? I've been told it's very tough. It's not easy.
And also it's immediate, no? Like
I know.
any other job. Like say if you make software, you'll find out will the software sell, not sell. Here people laugh, don't laugh. You don't laugh, done. You failed. Pass or fail, it's just like that, right? It's like imagine if there was 40 minutes of silence today. People are like, hey, that guy was so terrible. For 40 minutes he spoke,
But
nobody laughed. So everyone's looking around. A room can go from this, which is joyous,
Absolutely.
to just the worst. So it's a yes and no life.
And it was yes all the way. It was amazing. So just another thing, you did you ever dream, like we all think of careers, we want to be this, we want to be that. So was it your dream to be a stand-up comedian or a stand-up laughter man, or just it kind of you derailed yourself and went?
So I used to work in journalism. I used to work for Reuters. And the day I quit. I told my boss in 2011, listen, I'm quitting. But because I'm Bengali, I'm a little cowardly, right? I've always been quite terrified. So I told my boss, keep my number, because this comedy career is not going to work out. In fact, I may call you tomorrow or day after, so please rehire me. I told him December 2011. I haven't called him yet. But every 2-3 years, like when he sees, hey, I saw your video, I saw this, I immediately write back saying, keep my number.
For 12 years you've been rocking.
15.
Oh wow, 15
I haven't
years.
called him yet. In fact, he's about to retire, so I'm very concerned.
So I'm sure on his farewell party he'll say, Anubhav, come over and give us a stage show for us.
Maybe, or take my job, which I'm happily do.
So if Anubhav Pal was not stand-up, what would you be other than journalism?
I don't know. Like a lot of my comedy comes from because I'm from here.
Okay.
I think Calcutta, just like your music, Calcutta is a...
I always say Calcutta is such a place, and I think Calcutta vibrates because of the people, the warm-heartedness, and everybody. In Calcutta, one good thing is, you ask someone for direction, they won't give you the direction,
No.
they'll take you to the place and let's see, here it is.
And it's a full story.
Absolutely.
But also, this is the only town where if you're not creative, people look down on you.
I think so. I don't think now,
Now
with the
it's changed.
I know.
Now I think money
though,
is, yeah.
Now that everybody, you say, that gully song, Mera time aayega, everybody
Everyone
sings
wants that. Yeah.
So,
But you didn't have to be rich. This is not Delhi.
I'll tell you, this is one place I love. You can have, still today, you can have a meal for 5 rupees.
Yeah.
At least one small dish
And
or
people
something.
will, like for example, like in Delhi, if you were a DJ, people will like, is he the wealthiest DJ in India? Whereas in Cal, they'll respect you for being the number one DJ of
Can I
Calcutta.
tell you one thing is, when I started DJing, it was something new to everybody.
Yeah.
So the only time they saw DJs were in those Hindi movies.
Yeah.
So I remember one neighbor, I must say this, one lady neighbor is telling the other neighbor, जानते हो जिन्हें रात को जाता है उधर पे ओइसे ओइसे नाच होता है और वो बाजा बजाता है. I mean, I think from those days to today, I think every entertainer, and I'm happy about that, is being respected for what they are, what they do, they're being appreciated. And one thing I must say, there's a lot of talent from Calcutta who has made it big, and a live example here.
Well, I'm telling you, I remember I was 17 years old, 19 years old, and we were trying to get tickets to a Jimmy Tangri event. It was impossible to get a ticket to a Jimmy Tangri event. It was in one of the clubs. I think it was
Oh yes,
Saturday Club, Swimming Club,
Saturday
something.
Club, Calcutta Swimming Club, yes.
And it was impossible, and we were kids. We were like, oh, Jimmy Tangri spelling was a big thing.
I wish you knew. We could have said, "Okay, come and
Yeah,
sit
but
down."
I'm 17. You didn't want to know a 17-year-old kid at the time. But what I'm saying is that there's all those things, like we used to have British Council Theatre.
Yes, let me tell you. Zari Chaudhary and everything.
All of that, and then Phyllis Bose, films of Ray, unlike if I grew up in Bombay, then I wouldn't have
I think
being a comedian.
one of the places where I think theatre was maximum
Yeah.
was in Calcutta those days, and it's coming up in a big way again. I think we are reliving our past in a big way.
Great.
Culture is huge. Of course, music has gone a little bit high tech now. It's very, very into the tum. It's okay.
It's all Hindi.
It's
Yeah.
not only Hindi, but even the English music is not more of words than more of deep house, more of dance music, which is good. Now, taking everything into consideration, you being the amazing man you are, from the city with a heart, We have lakhs and lakhs of people watching you live right
Hello,
now.
people. Hello, people.
What message would you like to give to the world?
Well, it's what I learned today. It's a very simple message, right? It's if you want to do humor, if you want to, there's a difference between shocking an audience and entertaining an audience, right? I was able to do 30 minutes of stand up without bad language.
45 minutes.
45
let me
minutes of
say.
stand up without bad language, mixture of Hindi, English, and Bengali. And I think audiences, you just have to trust your audiences for whatever you choose to do in life. People say, "Arey, ye nahi chalega. You have to do more Hindi. You have to use more bad language." You don't. You have to. If the core of it, if you retain who you are, the public will find you. You don't have to go find the public.
Absolutely, and you proved a point today. You were yourself. You did what you loved doing in your own way, and you had an audience right from the top across all designations who were laughing. They were in riots, and they loved you for what you were. In fact, if you ask me, when you stopped the second time and you said, "That's it," trust me, they would have pulled you on for another half an hour session.
That's very
literally.
true. But you know, Jimmy, the hard part is this is a conference that has Brian Lara, Shri Ravi Shankar.
And Anubhav Paul. Yes,
Yeah.
and I'm so happy because it was a break in the momentum of seriousness, which of course was also good. But I think this was truly an amazing part of the entire conference Infocom has had.
Thank you.
And Anubhav, it
My honor
such
was
a
meeting
pleasure.
Jimmy Tanvi. That was my
no,
honor
it's
today.
my pleasure. When I saw you, you know, one of my first thoughts, I said, "What a guy," you know, and I was feeling so happy because rarely you get time to enjoy and laugh. You're so busy with work. And today, as I said, no, after a long time, I had that half an hour, 45 minutes of amazing laugh. Keep rocking.
I'm touched I could make you laugh,
keeping-
man.
no,
Yeah.
Please keep,
You were my hero.
please keep people happy always because a smile or a laugh can make someone's day, and you make so many people's day today.
I got lucky today.